every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Good thing you're my brother, and not someone I was gunning for.
Sure is, Johnny. You'd have been a dead man the minute you touched your gun.
Well, maybe the rescue had slowed you a little, Vic. I should have known better. You been waiting long?
About an hour. An hour's not long to wait. We've been waiting 3 years.
Anybody ask questions?
They were thinking them up, but nobody asked them. A lot of ground between here and Diablo.
You sure it's gonna be worth the trip, Vic?
Yep, Johnny, I'm positive. Come on.
Official business. What? Where's the sheriff? Where's the sheriff?
Well, at Allen's ranch. Why? What's the trouble?
This, and it reads like trouble aplenty.
What is it, Walt?
This your telegram, Annie. It's for your Uncle Luke.
Don't keep it a secret, Annie. What does it say?
Yeah, what's it all about?
Vic Carver.
Carver? Why, he's in the penitentiary.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but he's out and heading for Diablo.
He got 5 years for robbery. It's only been 3. He must have escaped.
Yeah, and he's heading here to carry out his threat to kill Luke for being the man who captured him.
Gosh, I better ride out to the Allens and get Uncle Luke.
Wait a minute, Tagg. Tell Luke that there's a telegram here for him, but don't tell him what it's all about.
Huh?
Go on now and do as I ask, and remember, just say there's a telegram.
All right.
Oh, Annie. Oh, what are you doing? You can't do that. Wait.
Walt, get this down on your regular form and bring it back. Then tear up the original message and forget it.
What? I can't do that, Annie. It's against the law.
Oh, please, Walt, and don't mention it to anyone.
No, sirree. I can't do it. Can't do it. Impossible. I'll be back with this in 10 minutes. Luke will never know the difference.
Now, what's going on under that pretty blonde head of hair?
An idea to keep Uncle Luke from getting shot in the back. I hope.
Well, you gonna tell me what it is, or do I have to start guessing?
Oh, it's so simple, Lofty. You'd never guess.
Oh, I thank you, Miss Oakley. You know, I really appreciate your estimate of my intelligence.
I just figured that if Uncle Luke wasn't here, he couldn't be shot.
Oh, that is clever.
No, I'm serious this time, Lofty. When Vic Carver gets into town, Uncle Luke will be miles away. That message I gave Walt will see to that.
You mean you think Luke will run from that killer?
On the contrary, I know he won't run if he thinks Carver's on his way here.
Oh, and you're not gonna tell him?
That's right. I can't see any sense in Uncle Luke being a target every time he passes a likely ambush spot. No, if Vic Carver's escaped, there'll be a posse after him. And he won't have time to wait for Luke's return, threat or no threat.
And you think the posse will either push him on or capture him? Huh?
They will. Or we will.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll probably ride right down the middle of town, walk up to us and hand over his guns. Simple as that.
Oh, Lofty, I don't expect him to just ride into town. The message said there was another man with him. So when a stranger gets into town, starts looking around and asking the wrong questions, well, we've got to work from there.
Sure, then all we have to do is follow the stranger, and he'll lead us to where Carver's hiding out.
It's a good idea, Lofty. Sure glad you thought of it. Here. Uncle Luke.
Annie, Lofty. Well, where's that telegram that's so all-fired important?
Mrs. Allen gave me a bag of my favorite Hard Rock candy. Have some?
No, thank
No.
you.
Marshal Benton needs my help over in Canyon City.
I read it, and I've got your bag all packed and ready.
You can catch the afternoon stage.
Boy, Uncle Luke's gonna be madder than a coyote when he finds out you're sending him on a wild goose chase. He'll skin you two alive when he gets back.
According to that telegram, Vic Carver should arrive here sometime tomorrow. That gives us just 3 days.
And all we can do is stand around and wait for a stranger to ride in and start asking questions. Morning, Dad.
Tagg, stay away from that candy until after breakfast.
Oh, Annie.
That stranger just rode in, Annie. And Vic Carver's with him.
You mean Carver just rode right into town?
Yeah, they went over to the hotel.
Well, you stay here, Tagg.
Oh, I'll miss all the fun.
Fun, he says. Now, there's their horses.
Carver must be crazy to show himself like this.
Well, he probably figures there aren't too many men who'll try to stop him. He's awfully good with a gun, Annie.
Let's find out how good.
Right.
Those 2 cowboys that just came in, Albert, what room did you give them?
101. Is something wrong?
Well, I can't say for sure, but I'd suggest you stay behind that desk, just in case.
Move easy, Carver.
That means you too, mister.
Should have told you, kid, the law in this town is real anxious. They bust right in on a man with no reason at all.
Yeah, it seems so.
I wouldn't call arresting an escaped convict no reason, Carver.
You're going back to prison, this time for a permanent stay.
You folks must be working on some wrong information. I didn't escape from prison. I was released.
Released?
Sentence commuted is how the paper reads. Show it to him, Vic.
Yeah. There you are, Annie.
He's right, Lofty. How he got it, I'll never know.
Just like it says there, all legal and proper. 2 years off for good behavior. I got friends where it pays to have them.
Well, you don't have any friends in Diablo. Why'd you come back here?
To pay an old debt. I'm a guy that likes to keep the record straight.
Bring him along to help straighten it? He used to ride alone, Carver.
Say, my manners must have got rusty in the last 3 years. This is my kid brother, Johnny. Say hello to Annie Oakley, kid.
It's a pleasure, miss.
If circumstances were different, maybe I could say the same, Johnny.
Family affair, huh?
Something like that. The kid's been wrangling for a living. Can you imagine that?
Yes, I can. But you're going to teach him to make a living the easy way, huh?
I might.
Make a big man of him, Vic? Like yourself?
A man's just as big as his gun makes him. And I taught the kid good.
Real good.
You keep learning things from your brother, Johnny, and you're going to end up real dead.
Come on, Lofty. Let's get back to the sheriff's office.
Hey, speaking of the sheriff, Annie, how's your Uncle Luke? How come he didn't join the welcoming committee?
He's out of town. On business.
How long is he going to be gone?
I don't know. I don't know where he is or when he'll be back.
Well, give him my best. If you see him before I do.
Why, you murderer.
Like I said, I always pay my debts.
Come on, Lofty. Thank you, Johnny.
Like I said, miss, my pleasure.
Just a few hours in town, you got him falling right in your arm.
Yeah.
You know, I could go for that little gal myself. Yeah, but that uncle of hers. She'd never take to me after I stopped him breathing. Well, it's too bad.
Yeah. Sure is.
And with no posse on his trail, Annie, your whole plan's gone sky high. Vic Carver can take his own sweet time about pot-shotting at Luke.
I knew that the minute I took a look at Vic's release form. We've got to change our plans, and fast.
Well, Luke will be back as soon as he finds out that telegram was a phony. What can we do but wait?
Well, we could take a shot in the dark.
Huh?
What did you think of Johnny Carver?
Oh, I don't know. I guess he'd be all right if his name wasn't Carver.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But his name doesn't make him what his brother is.
What are you getting at?
I don't know myself, Lofty, but it might be worth a try. Tagg.
You Johnny Carver?
That's right. What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. But my sister wants to see you.
Fine. Who's your sister?
Annie, I'm Tagg Oakley.
What does she want?
How should I know? She's a woman.
Yeah, I noticed. Come on in a minute, Tagg. I'll be right with you.
All right.
Hey, Johnny, I don't like it. That girl's up to something.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Hurry it up, will ya? I got things to do. In there.
Come in.
No.
Miss Oakley?
Hello, Johnny. I'm glad you came. Won't you sit down?
Sure will. You're quite a surprising woman, Annie.
Thank you.
You look so different than at the hotel.
I'm counting on your being different too, Johnny. Believe me. I asked you here to talk, Johnny.
Talk? Or listen?
Maybe a little of both. Will you?
What have I got to lose?
Just your freedom, or maybe your life.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know your brother Vic came to Diablo for one reason, to kill my uncle. Johnny, I'm playing a hunch with you. A hunch that says you don't want to spend the rest of your life running. I tricked my uncle to get him out of town. I know where he is and when he'll be back, but if Vic's still here, somebody's gonna get killed. And I'm counting on you, Johnny, to get your brother out of town.
Maybe you're spreading your hunches a little thin. I chase better than I run.
Well, that's Vic talking, Johnny, not you.
He's doing all right.
Is he?
He's always had plenty and never had to push a herd to make a dollar.
But he's pushed humans, Johnny, some of them to death.
Vic's never been convicted of a killing.
I know, but he's killed. Is that all that bothers you about killing, Johnny? Being convicted by a court?
Sure wish I knew what was going on in there.
Relax, Lofty. Annie's big enough to take care of herself.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. She never prettied herself up like that for me.
She never had to.
Well, be honest with yourself, Johnny. Just because you're Vic's brother doesn't mean you're cut out of the same mold.
I never said it did. He called it himself. A man's as big as his gun makes him.
Do you really believe that?
I don't know of anything that argues more convincing.
And Vic taught you. Real good.
That's right. What are you doing?
I'm gonna argue with you, Johnny, with a convincer you'll listen to. Come on outside. I want to teach you a new game. The game's called Texas Draw, Johnny. All you have to do is shoot the gun out of your opponent's hand.
You're kidding.
I was never more serious.
Now, look, Annie, I've heard you're pretty good with a gun, but
Real good.
I'm not going to draw on a little gal like you. What kind of a man do you think I am?
Maybe I'm just fixing to find out. Maybe you're afraid.
You are serious.
I just want to find out how big that gun makes you, Johnny. Stand over there. On 3. You count.
1, 2, 3.
No matter how fast you are, Johnny, there's always somebody faster. You could be dead now. Think about it a while.
What's the shooting, Annie?
You okay, sis?
We're just settling an argument, Lofty. Sure, Tagg, I'm all right. In fact, I think everything's going to be all right now. What do you think, Johnny? matter how fast you are, Johnny, there's always someone faster.
I taught the kid good.
We're just settling an argument, Lofty.
Say hello to Annie Oakley, kid.
Hello, Johnny. I'm glad you came.
You know, I could go for that little gal myself.
If Vic's still here, somebody's gonna get killed.
I don't like it. She's got something on her mind.
Johnny, I'm working on a hunch about you. A hunch that says you don't want to spend the rest of your life running.
A man's as big as his gun makes him.
That's Vic talking, Johnny, not you.
I taught the kid good.
Be honest, Johnny. Just because you're Vic's brother doesn't mean you're cut from the same mold.
A man's as big as his gun makes him. A man's as big as his gun makes him.
That's Vic talking, Johnny, not you.
I taught the kid good.
Be honest, Johnny. Just because you're Vic's brother doesn't mean you're cut from the same mold.
A man's as big as his gun makes him.
You could be dead now, Johnny. You could be dead now, Johnny.
That's the way it is, Vic. I went out. And there's nothing you can say that'll change my mind. And if you're smart...
Since when are you telling me what's smart? This Oakley dame put a bug in your bonnet, okay. But don't think it's contagious. I came here to pay a debt, and I'm gonna pay it, with you or without you.
I want to stick with you, Vic, but not through what you've got planned. You're free now. We could hit a new territory together. Maybe start a spread of our own. A whole new life.
Oh, save the sermon, kid. I've been doing all right my way. This working from sun up to sunset don't fit my taste none and never has.
Annie says she knows of a wrangling job that's open. Said she and Lofty will take me out and set it up if I wanted.
You said you wanted out? Well, get out.
Give yourself a break, Vic.
Why should I start? Nobody ever gave me a break.
Then be smart. For once in your life, be smart.
Here's a note, Lofty. Annie Oakley, we'll make a trade. Your uncle for your brother.
Vic! It's Vic!
Yeah, your brother, Carver. That story about your wanting a job was just to get us out of town so he could grab Tagg.
No, Lofty, you're wrong.
Lofty, he's telling the truth.
He doesn't know how, Annie. He's rotten, just like his brother.
Hardrock.
Yeah, and there's another piece over there by the door.
Oh, Lofty's left us the trail. Go on out and get the horses. Oh, Johnny, I'm sorry. You stay here. We're going after Tagg. There's another one, Lofty.
Yeah, we're on the right trail.
There. Make yourself comfortable, Sonny, while I go see your sister about a trade.
She won't make any trade with you.
Yeah.
You seen us, Annie?
When Tagg's inside the shack. Hand me that rifle, Lofty. Get it.
All right, Oakley, you got your deal. Get on your horses and bring Luke back here.
What do we do, Annie?
Keep him talking, Lofty. It's our only chance.
Let Tagg go, Carver. Talk a deal then.
We'll make a trade. I get Luke, you get the kid. Come on, quit stalling.
Settle down, Carver. You're not going anyplace.
Tagg, are you all right?
Sure, sis. But I was kind of worried for a while. I wasn't sure you'd find the trail I left.
I knew you wouldn't part with your favorite hard rock candy without a mighty good reason. Remind me to thank Mrs. Allen for giving it to you.
And remind me to ask for some more.
When Luke gets into the canyon stage this afternoon, we're going to have quite a story to tell him.
But not the story you think, Lofty. Drop your gun.
Johnny!
But you'd never get here, kid. I thought you'd switch sides.
You thought right, Vic. I'm just giving you that break you say you never got. Get on your horse.
Oh, but Johnny, he knows my Uncle Luke's on the Cannon City stage.
He's got no gun, Annie. He can't harm your uncle now. Start riding, Vic.
Sure, kid, sure.
Sorry, Annie. He's my brother. I had to give him a chance.
I understand, Johnny, but I'm still riding to meet that stage.
I'll take Tagg back to town with me.
All right.
You're a dead man.
Thunderation. What are we stopping for?
Because this is where you get off, Sheriff. For good. Keep that surprised expression, Luke, because you're going to die with it. Keep on going.
That's about it, Uncle Luke. I knew that stubborn streak of yours wouldn't let you run away from Vic Carver, so I had to do something about it.
You're not sore, are you, Uncle Luke?
It's pretty hard to be sore at somebody for saving your life, Tagg.
What'd the coroner have to say, Lofty?
That's like we thought out on the road, Annie. He broke his neck when he jumped from the stage.
I'm sorry, Johnny. Sorry it had to be this way.
Sure wasn't your fault, Annie. It's just kind of poetic justice, I guess.
What do you mean?
He said he wanted a break. I guess he just got one more than he bargained for.
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. Suspense.
Here comes the boss.
Hi, boss.
Hi, Tram. We were getting worried about you.
Howdy, boys. We're all set.
Hey, what about the sheriff?
I tricked him and his deputy out of town. Annie's watching the office. And who's afraid of a girl?
I am when it comes to Annie Oakley. Or she can make a six-gun shoot sideways.
I've even got a way to get her. Potts Weber's in town with that traveling tin shop of his. Chet Sterling's over at Brockett's bar. Won't you ride on in ahead and see if you can't rib Chet into shooting up Potts' wagon? Nobody will think of tying it in with us because it's the kind of fool thing that Chet's always doing. And it'll bring Annie out in the open where we can get a shot at her.
Yeah, well, as long as she ain't shooting at me.
fact, some of it's come from California. Now, for instance, there's a pan right there. You can have that pan for 85 cents. Only 85 cents. Here's one. You can have for $1.15. That's a perfectly good pan.
Stop playing around, Tagg. Hurry up now, and don't forget to wash the back of your neck.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Annie, the soap's gone. Get it, will ya? Ouch! You got a bullseye, Annie. But the soap's gone again.
Tagg, Oakley, you get your own soap.
Sure wish I had a pretty gal to iron my shirts.
Don't you want her for anything else, Lofty?
Oh, now, Annie.
Oh, now, Lofty. You get on your top horse and ride out to the Bear Valley Junction and meet Uncle Luke right away. It's important.
Well, what's it all about? I'm the only deputy left in
I
town.
can handle things around here. It's about those rustlers that are working out there. Uncle Luke might need you.
I'm on my way.
Now, ladies, all this merchandise I've got is all first
Say, I bet you can't send her that skillet.
$5?
For $5.
Now, for instance, there's a pan right there.
It's got a hole in it.
What, that little hole?
Plug her now.
We dip our hand later.
Are you all right?
Whoa! Oh, the that blame wagons are going so that blame fast, I couldn't get them with that blame feet.
Oh, well, I'm dad blame glad to see you're not badly hurt.
You're that blame right.
Are you able to drive back to town?
You're that blame tootin'.
Well, I'll get my horse.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll split up here. Come to my place later.
You did it.
Trim Barton?
Yeah, I saw him take the sack right into his home.
But are you sure the men you followed were the ones who robbed the bank?
I never left him, Annie.
Trim Barton is well thought of around here.
Well, yeah, he's a friend of Frank Sterling, president of the bank.
Just the same, I saw him. Go on and arrest him, Annie. You can do it. You're acting for Uncle Luke. Come on, don't be afraid. I'll side you.
I'll side you. Just your say-so isn't enough for me to arrest Trim Barton. I've got to get more information from Mr. Sterling. Come on, Target. Where do you think you're going?
To the bank with you.
How about that kindling? Did you cut it like I told you?
Oh, I'll do it after.
After what?
Oh, just after.
You do it right this minute. Now, come on, boy,
Oh,
move.
please let me walk to the bank with you.
Oh, all right. And then you get to that kindling, you hear me?
How can anybody hear anything else?
Your misbehavior drove your father to an early grave. Now you're holding me up to ridicule with escapades like that with Potts Weber this morning. All day, people have been dropping in here telling me what a rowdy my nephew is. I've had enough of it.
Shut up. I'm gonna annoy you just 24 hours longer, Uncle Frank. I'll be 21 tomorrow, and when you settle up my father's estate, I'll be gone from this dust puddle. How much is that estate anyway? You never would tell me.
And I can't tell you now. You see, the bank lost a large amount in government bonds in today's holdup.
What's that got to do with my estate?
Just this. Recently, I invested your holdings in United States bonds. Now, if those bonds are amongst those stolen today, you won't have much coming.
If it turns out that I'm broke, I'll kill you.
I don't think you'll kill anybody, Chet. You know, I'm getting awful tired of shooting things out of your hand. Now, you be a good boy or Annie'll spank.
We were discussing my nephew's inheritance, and his temper slipped a little.
Must have slipped a long way. You were ready to commit murder.
Killing him wouldn't be murder.
Now, look, Chester. A complete checkup is being made now. If you'll return at 8 o'clock tonight, I'll have more information for you.
It better be good.
His temper still seems to be slipping.
I don't know what to do about Chester.
Ever try putting him to work?
Work, Chester? You don't know him.
Maybe I know him better than you think I do. But I didn't come here to talk about Chester. I'd like to get some information on the holdup.
There isn't much I can tell you now. They were masked, and there was a great deal of excitement.
Well, maybe I'd better come back tonight and get your report on the losses, Mr. Sterling.
Why? Where's the sheriff?
Well, Uncle Luke is investigating some rustling up in Bear Valley. He and Lofty Craig should be back tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, no, no, no. Watch. Buck him off balance with your left, then belt him with your right. Like that.
Gosh, I bet you can really box.
I fought some pretty good men.
Did you whip him?
All of them.
Gosh. Boy, that's a sharp shirt you're wearing.
Had it handmade over in Silver City.
I bet it cost at least $25.
35.
Gosh.
Woman over there makes them 6 at a time for me.
You got 5 more?
Yep.
Gosh, 6 shirts.
Here comes that gun-slinging sister of yours.
And is she sore at you for shooting up Pop Weber's wagon?
I only shot off a couple of caps to scare him. She might have killed me.
Not unless she was aiming to. She can shoot a stone out of a fingering and never touch her hand.
Oh, she can shoot some. In a gunfight, I'd have her shot before she had her gun out of the holster.
That's pretty fast, Chet.
It's the truth.
I bet it is, too. I still think you're the best shot, Annie. But I think Chet could beat you to the draw.
I'll show you. Reach, Annie. You bounce that bullet off that stove.
Sure. If your angle's right, you can just about figure which way your ricochet will go.
Maybe I'd better shut up about being so fast on the draw.
Mm-hmm. That kind of talk only leads to trouble. No matter how good you are, there's always somebody that's just a shade better. You know, you ought to stop talking about killing people, too, Chet. Folks don't like that kind of talk in a man.
Yeah? Well, let me tell you something. Just because you're good with a gun, you think you can tell people what to do. Well, folks don't like that in a girl either. Especially me. I like my girls feminine.
Well, maybe I'm pretty good in that department, too. Come on, Tagg.
What's the matter, Annie? You stewing about Chet Sterling? I wish you'd quit. Chet's a good guy.
He's a good guy for you to stay away from. Boys aren't expected to have any sense, but grown men are expected to have some. And bother Chet Sterling. I'm worried about Trim Barton.
What for?
He just went in the bank.
That's twice he's been to the bank today.
Maybe he's going to deposit the withdrawal he made this morning. Say, while he's in the bank, let's run over and take a look at his place. Oh, Tagg, run over to the blacksmith shop and borrow a pair of hoof clippers.
What for?
Never mind, just do it.
All right, all right.
That pyramid's into a tidy sum, Trim. You took $12,000 in currency. That was Treasury Department money, earmarked for the Denver Mint. Now, they'll make that good. And then...
Say, if that's the case, why not double the ante?
In what way?
Tell them the bandit's got 24,000.
Well, that's a good idea, Trim. You're quite a financier. We'll do that. Then, They're the bonds. $70,000 worth. I've already paved a way to tell my nephew that they were his bonds.
That show-off isn't gonna like that.
Now, he's already threatened to kill me.
He won't. Just talk.
Precisely my view. What did you do with the bonds and the money, Trim?
Put the sack away where no one will ever find it or even think of it.
And where would that be?
In the coal scuttle in my living room.
That's very good, Trim. We'll divide it tomorrow. And if you're staying in town, let's have dinner together.
Oh, I'm sorry I can't. I promised Phil Copey I'd ride over to his ranch for supper tonight. I need a shave. I'll see you later, Frank.
Right.
This is close enough. Remember what I told you now.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
You do as I told you, and it will. Come on, Carver. Come on.
Hey, what? Here comes that Oakley brat.
Wonder where her shooting sister is.
Some town plain sheriff, most likely. What's your trouble, bub?
Can I get some help? Pixie threw a shoe.
Well, the shoe came off clean. Didn't bust the hoof up none.
It ain't gonna kill that crowbait to go back to town barefoot?
Pixie ain't no crowbait, and no horse of mine's going barefoot.
Ah, there's a real hand. Looks to his horse first.
Trem.
You didn't expect me, Frank.
Of course I didn't. You said you were going to Kobe's.
And I did. But all through supper, something kept telling me I'd better get back. You timed it well, Frank. I wasn't gone over 2 hours.
What are you talking about?
You brazen hypocrite! You stole the money at Bonds while I was at Kobe's.
You must be crazy. I haven't been out of this office.
Can you prove that?
No, I can't, but...
You see, it had to be you. You were the only other person on earth who knew where they were.
I tell you,
You tell me nothing. Come up with the bonds and money, fast.
Chet, what's going on here? Lofty, back already?
Yeah, bad news travels pretty fast. Before I could get to your uncle, I heard the bank was robbed. I just got in and Tagg told me you were over here. What's the trouble? Mr. Sterling. He's dead.
Chet.
I didn't kill him. I walked in here and somebody slugged me. I didn't even see Uncle Frank.
His gun ought to tell the story.
Let's see your six-shooter, Chet. One shell's been fired.
That's impossible. I cleaned that gun after I fired it this morning.
Is the barrel clean, Lofty?
Well, Craig, what's going on here?
Well,
We'd like to know what you're doing here, Mr. Barton.
I don't have to answer your...
I'll ask it, Trem. What are you doing here?
Well, nothing really. Frank Sterling's an old friend. I saw the light, thought I'd drop in for a chat. Where is Frank?
Frank Sterling's been murdered. I'm holding Chet. I'll ask you to verify that one cartridge out of his six-shooter's been fired.
Oh, wait a minute, Lofty. I want to see the gun before...
Never hand a man a cocked gun like that, Craig. Now 2 cartridges have been fired.
I wish that hadn't happened. I'll have to lock you up, Chet.
I'll hold his gun, Lofty.
Here. You did that on purpose.
Chet's gun has a hair trigger. You must have discovered that when you fired it a few minutes ago.
Well, yes, it has, but... Craig, I demand you organize a posse and get Chet Sterling.
He got away in my horse.
Just how far do you think you'll get till daylight?
And she's right, Trem.
There is one thing you can do, though, Lofty. Arrest Trem Barton for Frank Sterling's murder.
What? Oh, you little wildcat.
Handcuff him to the wagon, Lofty. I want to show you something. This is Chet's six-shooter. If it killed Frank Sterling, it had to be with the first cartridge fired, right?
Right.
See that cut? I made it and one like it on every cartridge in Trem Barton's gun and belt. There's his gun. Take a look.
How'd the fired shell get in Chet's gun?
Well, we could ask Barton, but I think I can tell you. Chet said somebody slugged him when he walked into the office. That'd be Trem, after Trem had killed Frank Sterling. Then he switched the cartridges and left.
And when Trem fired that shot through Chet's clean gun, you ruined any chance Chet might have had for an alibi.
That's right. For a minute, I sure thought you had the boy.
All right, Craig, let's get out of here.
Where's that bank loot now?
In Uncle Luke's office.
With just Tagg to guard it?
Why not? Even Trem Barton wouldn't rob the sheriff's office.
You're wrong, Annie. I'm the man who is going to rob the sheriff's office. Now go the back way, and if either one of you give me any trouble, I'll blast you in two with this six-shooter. Drop your gun, Annie. Go ahead.
pardon. What are you...
Shut up. Get over there. Where are the bonds and the money?
I don't know.
Where are they?
They're in the bottom drawer of the desk.
Get over there.
There aren't going to be any witnesses. This is Chet Sterling's six-shooter. There are still 3 unfired cartridges in it. It'll be found here with your bodies. Let's make it ladies first, shall we?
From here by now.
I'm not running away from a murder I didn't commit. I quit Lofty's horse a block from the bank. I'm no horse thief either, and sneaked back. When you left Uncle Frank's office, I picked up your gun and followed you here. I waited as long as I dared. I wanted to see how far Trim Barton would go. He went the whole distance, all right.
And so did you, Chet.
Right. You know, when I get around to making up my list of the all right people in this town, you're gonna be right up there on top.
You really mean that, Annie?
I never meant anything more.
I told you he was a good guy.
And my brother knows a good guy when he sees one.
Gosh.
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Shooting. And suspense.
So I hung up the Justice guns and vowed never to use them again. That was many years ago. And except for cleaning, those guns have been in the case since the day I retired.
Gee, Clay, you must have been about the best shot in the whole world. Even better than Annie.
Oh, Tagg, I'll never be the shot that Clay was. A pupil can't outshoot his teacher.
Experience was my teacher, Annie. Years have taught me a lot. The most important thing I learned was that when a man can draw fast and shoot straight, he doesn't have to kill.
Time was, though, when a gun was judge, jury, and executioner. Strange talk for a man of your peaceable nature, Frank. You never held a gun in your life. One gunfighter in the family's enough, Doctor. I figured if I never picked up a gun, I'd never get shot.
Well, that's pretty good figuring, Frank. But if your brother had felt the same, this territory would be run by outlaws instead of honest folk.
Gee, Clay, don't you miss wearing the Justice guns?
No, son. They did their job, and I'll never wear them again. Not that I couldn't handle them as good as ever, understand, now regardless of what the doc here says.
You're not a young man anymore, Clay. Time brings a lot of changes. All I tried to tell you was that...
I know what you're trying to tell me. You doctors are all alike. A man adds a few birthdays to his life and you think he's ready to fall apart.
Now, Clay, nobody said anything about you falling apart. The doctor here is just concerned about your eyes.
We're all concerned, Clay. If you'd only submit to an operation.
I'll submit to nothing. My eyes are as good as ever and my hand just as steady. And will be until the day I die. So let's hear no more about it.
Clay, we're all your friends. We only want you.
Storm and Murdoch brothers. They robbed the association office.
Another of his attacks.
She's got to have his eyes fixed.
Stay here with him, Lofty.
Unload, Al. That's Annie Oakley. She'll drop us both if she shoots. I said unload.
Save your strength, mister. You've still got to go up that hill and start a long walk back to jail. Get around here.
Good work, Annie.
Looks like you caught yourself a heifer.
The wrong one, though. The others got away with the money. How's Clay? Is he all right?
Oh, sure. His spell passed just as quick as it came. He's okay.
Now, wait a minute. I've got my...
Your citizen's right. Shoot how we know about it.
Did they get all the money, Lofty? The operation fund and everything?
Every penny of it, Annie. We won't have to worry about talking Clay into anything now. The money the townsfolk donated for that eye specialist is gone. No money, no operation.
There will be an operation. We've got to get it back.
Johnny Storm's no easy mark, Annie. He's one of the deadliest killers in the West.
Well, you don't have to come along, Mr. Craig. I'll go alone. If I had enough daylight, I'd start tracking right now.
Golly, sis, don't you worry none. You know I'll help.
Well, if you'd use that pretty blonde head of yours, you know I will, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lofty. It's just that I'm so worried about Clay.
I'm the one that should apologize, Annie. I know what he means to you.
I sure don't get it. Why did everyone want to keep the operation fund a secret from Clay in the first place? Doesn't he want to get fixed up?
Of course he does, Tagg, but Clay Griffin is a very proud and courageous man. He's a legend in these parts. And legends just don't fall ill. His pride won't let him believe he's not the same man he was many years ago.
And how are you going to talk him into having the operation? Even if you do get the money back.
I'll make him have it, even if I've got to hold him down. The important thing right now is the money. We've got to get it back.
Well, I'll see what I can get out of the prisoner. Maybe he'll tell us where his brother and Johnny Storm are headed.
Oh, it's no use, Lofty. I tried all the way back into town.
No harm in trying again.
Save your breath, Deputy. I got nothing to tell you or anyone else.
He's not the talkative sort. We'll just have to track.
All right, Annie, you get some sleep. I'll see you at sunup.
Right, Lofty. We'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
Oh, Annie. I never get to do anything exciting around here.
Well, we can't all leave, Tagg. Somebody's got to stay here and watch the prisoner.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Anybody in, boss?
Hi, Lofty. Annie's all ready. Hey, Annie!
You gonna take care of things while we're gone?
Nobody else, boy, as long as Uncle Luke's out of town. I figure somebody's got to be acting sheriff.
Sure enough.
Hello, Lofty. All set?
The horses are waiting.
Good. Keep your eye on him, Tagg.
Don't you worry none. I'll watch him like a hawk.
Some hawk.
Well, anyway, I'll watch him.
Morning, Annie. Lofty. I was just... Shh.
I didn't want Tagg to hear you. He's all puffed up with pride when he's acting like a sheriff.
Keep an eye on things, Jim. Don't let Tagg know you're around.
Sure, Lofty. I understand.
Making it easy, Johnny.
Yeah. Come on. Let's bust Al out of jail before the whole town wakes up. Morning, Frank. How you feeling, Clay?
Oh, just fine, thanks, Jim.
Can't keep a tough old wire like him down.
What are you doing out so early?
Annie asked me to stick around the office. She and Lofty are out tracking Johnny Storm.
Well, who's in with the prisoner?
Little Tagg. He's having quite a time.
Tagg?
Sure, it'll be good practice for the boy.
You two out for your constitutional, are you?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Morning like this makes a man glad to be alive.
Quite agree with you there, Frank. As soon as I've had a cup of coffee to pull my eyes away.
Well, looks like the cafe's opening up now.
'Tis, right enough.
Well, we'll join you on our way back, Jim.
Fine. You wait here, Dave. I'll spring Al out of that cell in no time. Sit quiet, mister, and drop those keys. Sit tight, Al. I'll have you free just as soon as Sonny Boy here hands me the keys.
You're not gonna get him.
Come on. Hand me the keys. Hand me the keys.
What's going on here?
Watch out, Clay!
Johnny, where's Al?
Quit talking and start riding, or we'll have a whole town on our backs. Come on, let's go.
Someone get the doc. I'll ride out and get Annie and Lofty.
He'll be all right, Clay. He'll be all right.
He never picked up a gun, so he wouldn't get shot.
Tagg, how's Frank? Where is he?
I don't know, Annie. Clay and the doc are in there with him.
I've done everything possible, Clay. From here on, it's out of our hands.
Oh, Clay,
He's got a 50-50 chance, Annie. From now on, we can only wait and pray. There's nothing you can do in there, Clay.
why don't you sit down and get some rest? I know how you feel, Clay. But we won't rest until we get Johnny Storm.
Can't keep getting away forever.
Can't you get anything out of that fellow you've got in jail, Lofty?
Murdoch? No, and it's too bad. If we could make him talk, we might be able to locate Johnny Storm.
Justice guns. Oh, Clay, you can't.
Don't be a fool, Clay. Johnny Storm's a deadly killer.
So are the Colton.
You're committing suicide.
I can still outshoot any murdering outlaw. Talk won't bring Storm in, but the justice guns will.
Clay, you're thinking back 30 years.
Right now, Doc, I'm thinking back further than that. I'm thinking back to the day that Frank was born. Tagg, saddle up my horse and bring him around to the sheriff's office.
Do as he says, Tagg.
Clay, we don't even know where Johnny Storm is.
Well, I'm gonna find out right now. I'm just gonna ask you once, mister. Where's Johnny Storm?
Go away, old man. I got no answers for you.
Answer these, then.
You wouldn't. You can't shoot me down like a caged animal. Rockville. He's in Rockville.
Clay, Rockville's an outlaw town. You can't go alone. You'll need help.
The justice guns are all the help I need.
Good luck, Clay.
He's still Clay Griffin, Annie. Nothing will stop him now.
That's why I didn't try. The knowledge that he can't fight this battle alone would kill him just as quick as Johnny Storm's bullets. Come on, Lofty. We've got to get to Rockville before Clay does. We can cut through Langdon's property.
That ought to do it. We'll cut off 2 miles. There's his horse.
Sorry, folks, no vacancies.
You will have. Which room's Johnny Storm in?
I don't know him, Deputy, and I ain't in the information business.
Make it your business.
203. He's in 203. Upstairs, left.
Stand quiet, Storm. You won't live another second.
Get his gun. All right, where's the money?
It's your party, lady.
Watch him, Lofty. Oh, here it is.
Looks like the party's over, lady.
The clerk downstairs said you had company, Johnny.
Yeah, it sort of surprised me.
That's not the only surprise you got coming. There's an old coot in town, gunning for you.
What?
Yeah. Claims he's Clay Griffin. Wants to swap shots with you. At 4 o'clock, he says. He's out there now, big as life.
Clay Griffin. Yeah. It's him, all right.
They say he used to be a quick gun, Johnny.
Yeah. He used to be.
Oh, you can't. He's an old man. His eyes are bad.
Look, lady, he come looking for a fight, and where he's going, he don't need no eyes. Watch these two, Dave. I gotta keep a 4 o'clock appointment.
All right. Get up. Go over and sit against that door. You. Stand over there beside him.
Here I am, old man. Come and take me.
Gun and use it.
Get out.
You didn't believe I could handle his kind alone, did you, Annie?
I never doubted it for a minute, Clay.
I'm deputizing you 2 men. Hold these men in your jail until I come after them.
Tagg, they sent me to try and stop you, Clay. Frank's all right. He's gonna live. The doctor said the crisis is over.
I guess I kind of sold the doc short.
He's a great guy.
That he is.
Well, if you think he's such a great guy, Clay, then why don't you listen to him about the operation?
Yeah, maybe he's right after all.
Of course he is.
he could be right about a couple things. You know, Annie, I shot both justice guns at Storm and only hit him once. Maybe I am getting old.